Okay, guys, welcome back to another episode of Beyond the Gym Floor. I'm back. 2 weeks off was long enough. They've let me back in the studio. I had to host first exercise episode back. Jason said it was too much for him, so he's made me do it. So really cool episode. We just unpacked a few reflections. What happens is when I don't work, my brain just goes mental and I write pages of notes in my phone. So we talked about a lot of them, which was fun.
Philosophic.
Yeah, it's usually the way it goes. We also talked about very important news for the Formula One. If you hate Formula One, just skip the first
15 minutes.
Yeah. Tam will have a timestamp, so you don't have to listen to that if you don't want to, but it's always fun. I'm going to throw over to Jess again to do intro for our programming workshop, which is coming to the Gold Coast. Dates are?
The 2nd and the 3rd of March, which are a Saturday and a Sunday at Zero Weakness on the Gold Coast.
Awesome. Links will be in bio if you want to go and grab your tickets for that. We're super excited to come up.
Absolutely.
There'll be something on the Friday, probably leaning towards coaches because it'll be Friday afternoon. But if you don't work Fridays, you're more than welcome to come and you're not a trainer. But some kind of training, photo shooty kind of thing.
Oh, that's all locked into.
Be content creation. That's what I've called it. So
Yeah,
it's
I
just
like
like, we're going to go do a workout and there's going to be a camera and stuff there.
Yep.
If you want to come and train,
Sick.
hang out.
A couple of my clients
Yeah.
are going to test.
Yeah.
I'm
I'm trying to
move
get
the
a
lift
few
off.
of my clients there as well. So it should be fun.
Awesome.
Hang out, get a pump.
Yep.
Create
Some pics.
content. Yeah.
Don't forget, like, share, subscribe. There's particularly the subscribe makes a really, really big difference to the reach
So
of
close
everything.
to 1,000, I think we are. So
Really?
close. Yeah.
Wow. That's
Let's
sick.
get it there. Let's get
Yep.
to 1,000.
So sub on YouTube and Spotify and wherever else you listen. As I said in the outro, which has just happened, which confuses my brain every single time. As of next week, we're going to start tapping into all the questions that you guys, or all the problems you guys said had in our scholarship post of specifically what's going wrong in your business and what you're struggling with. So more value and action-based stuff to come in the episodes in the future. All right. Enjoy the episode. Bye.
Wore my Crocs to go to the toilet, and I was like, "Oh my god, this is so embarrassing." Jeez.
No, it's like
I don't like
yeah,
the murky bits.
I agree.
It makes me look. It makes.
It was
look-
very Elijah of you to have a finger in your mouth.
And that's
Got to go upside down.
It's it's the power of the movement in the
Yeah.
jaw. My God.
You should see it now. Whoa.
No.
The
Another osteo session since then is a weapon.
Yeah.
a weapon. No, on the other podcast, I really just want to see the clip of Jason pretending to suck like a baby.
It's just the jaw, man. I'm telling you, the clap. There's just so much force in it.
Weapon.
I mean, the kid's got to eat. Yeah, I get it.
Kids gotta eat.
Got to get those calories in.
Does.
Kid's got to eat. Oh.
At the moment, in every post-game interview, OKC
10.
have been doing stupid.
Timer just for your benefit.
OKC have been doing the team is really young and they're bonding really well and they're going
Reasonably
amazing,
good.
reasonably.
Yeah, well, they got to. Yeah, let's see where they go in the playoffs.
Okay, reasonably well. They made to first in the West, so
Reasonably well.
anyway, and they've Jalen Williams, J-Dub, he always does stupid shit in the post-game interviews. They're just a bunch of, they just look like frat boys in the interviews. And in the last one, they all got around a guy and they all started barking at him when he was being interviewed. I was like, huge STC energy.
Been there,
Oh,
been
yeah.
there. Good vibes, good vibes.
Yeah.
Lewis Hamilton to Ferrari.
Massive.
What the fuck?
Yeah, massive. It's like the man that everybody loves to hate is going to the team
Everyone loves.
that everybody loves.
Yeah.
So what happened?
So does that mean
We just
when-
like Charles Moore.
Yeah, well, yeah. I don't mind. I don't mind Lewis. Someone out there sometimes.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't.
I think he's a really good driver.
I think he's a good driver.
Yeah, that's what I mean. As a
Yeah.
person who's when you assess their craft,
Yeah, I think last year,
great driver.
not that my respect is important to Lewis Hamilton, he earned my respect last year.
Even
That car had no business finishing where it did in the championship.
also how he took losing
He carries himself
That-
so well.
the
Yeah.
title to Max the way that it happened.
Yeah.
I have a tremendous amount of respect for someone who can do that.
Yeah.
Because if it was the other way,
Yeah.
there would have been tantrums. There would have been, even just how Mercedes took it all.
Yeah, except Toto.
Yeah.
Toto's still salty.
But he's the Terminator. He's allowed to do it.
We've got like 24 or 21 days or some
Drive to
shit.
survive.
Yeah.
Do you reckon that was a like? Does he go to Toto and say this is happening, or does Toto go, we're looking for a younger driver now? You know,
Both.
yeah, it's like
I reckon.
Surely he doesn't just rock up and go, I'm going to Mercedes.
Yeah.
I'm going to Ferrari, guys. Like, thanks for everything. It just seems.
I have seen it happen in football quite a bit. I know Hawthorn did it after they did the three-peat. They went to a few of the guys and were like,
we're going to have to rebuild or whatever.
in 2 years' time, you won't be here. So you can go now while you're a 29-year-old three-time premiership player that's worth
get into a
fucking
good
heaps
team.
of money
Yeah.
and go.
Go get that bread. We're getting rid of you.
Or you can stay, but you might end up playing off the bench and whatever. A lot of them, I think there's about 4 of them that all left, and most of them got multi-year playing coaching gigs.
Yeah,
so they
yeah.
played for 2 and then ended up coaching for 2 or 3
I
afterwards.
wonder if it was the year extensions that also was the motivator, because like he's probably like, I don't know if I want to just live in limbo every year. Where
Agreed.
Ferrari would go, I don't know. What does anyone know how many years it is? It says multi.
Yeah, well, the year George beats him,
Yeah,
they bring another kid in.
yeah,
Realistic. Like if you're the owner, if the young kid beats you,
yeah. Then you bring
you're
someone
done.
else in. Yeah,
So
Yeah.
bring another kid in under George
Yeah.
to support him because he's faster.
yeah.
Because Lewis is never going to play number 2 to George.
So who's the winner out of this then? Is Ferrari the winner?
Well,
Or
if
is Mercedes the
if
winner?
history says anything, something very similar happened the other way, and Merck built a phenomenal car that dominated F1 on the back end of Schumacher leaving Ferrari and going to Mercedes.
Yeah.
So you could potentially say that like Ferrari are getting him in to just be like, this is how the team and the car and all that stuff could potentially be ran.
And the knock on him was always, can he do that? Can he actually build a car? And then like you look at their development last year, and you've got to say,
Didn't they design wise got off on the wrong foot because they took the wrong direction.
yeah,
Yeah, and then they kind of got it back. Yeah. So maybe he can even like.
and that's what. So last year showed that he can.
Yeah.
That he can.
Who was the Ferrari guy? The technical director. What was his name? The Braun dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ross Brawn.
So like he could have a similar effect to that. Like he's like goes in because let's be real. Like Ferrari's a fucking shit show.
Yeah.
Yeah, like they're probably just using crayons and like fucking drawing on paper and pass around serviettes at like a fucking technical meeting. Who knows?
Yeah.
And he might go in there and just be like, boys, no,
Yeah.
this is how it's done. Like,
Yeah.
you've even heard it in like trades in soccer. Like, there's been players that have like, as soon as I went to like the training facility and worked out how they did things, he's like, I realized I made a big mistake.
Yeah.
Just how everything's done is just
Terrible.
not it. Yeah. So maybe you might be able to have some influence on that.
Yeah, with the authority that comes with having somebody that experience. Like,
Yeah, what was it like? Is 7 or 8?
7.
Yeah, 7. It's like, what a question.
We don't mention the 8th.
Look, arguably 8. Arguably. Chose
I
racing.
think what'll also, for the nerd like me, also be interesting is what staff go with it.
Yeah. He's got that lady, who's like his handler.
She left a long time ago.
Yeah, she left
Did
last
she?
year,
Okay.
and she's not.
I didn't watch the last Drives to Survive because
she's not. I think it was like round 3 this year. She left. She went to do something else.
Okay.
But we never found out why.
Yeah.
But if he gets someone from the technical department, from the development, from an engineer or someone like that
It's over for
also
these
goes
bitches.
to Ferrari, it's like, well, now you can really make a difference because you got driver and engineering pairing.
Red Bull usually steal them because they're from England.
Yeah, so
That's why they hate each other.
we'll see.
Mm.
Yeah, be interesting.
Didn't Honda get a deal with...
They're gonna sign with Aston.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's huge.
I feel like
Love all this F1 podcast news.
Yeah.
Coming
Welcome
to you.
back. Welcome
Straight-
back.
Hot off the press, guys.
yeah. So that happened. That trade happened. Gunther's gone.
Yeah. The big G. Netflix is so upset.
Yeah,
Pays
I-
them a fortune.
I've got to pick a new constructor to follow now
They're surely going to be like, this show has fucking 1 year left.
for sure.
Definitely not.
Last one wasn't that great. Just
Yeah,
to
but
throw
it's
it out.
perfect for Americans.
Yeah, okay.
Shout out to our American audience, but you're not known for your in-depth sports coverage, let's call it.
They've got another race there now, don't they?
We got 3 now. So we got
Yeah.
Austin, LA, and
Chicago.
Miami.
More the better, because I can
Vegas?
watch them in the morning.
Better
Oh yeah,
time.
Vegas.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's rumors of New York, which would be sick. On the island.
Where would that be?
On the island.
Right.
Yeah, which would be pretty crazy.
Well, like Staten Island, something.
No, like in Manhattan.
Manhattan.
Yeah, be wild.
I've seen pictures of obviously just memes and shit. People saying like around Central Park, it's just a big rectangle.
Yeah. Lots of like 4 DRS zones.
Yeah. not that dissimilar to Vegas, really.
Yeah, pretty much.
Very, very US. Well, all I know is I'm happy to be a Ferrari sandwich now. So
Yeah. Yeah. Or you could go for the Visa Cash App
Oh,
Racing
oh, that's
Bulls.
so disgusting.
What are they?
Oh my god. What are they now? Visa Red Bull.
No.
Visa
Cash
Cash
App.
App
Visa
Racing
Cash App,
Bulls.
bros.
No, they moved it.
Did they?
They moved it after some backlash.
Some backlash.
So what is it?
It's got to be Visa Red Bull. Like, it just rolls off the tongue. It's like, yeah, all right, Visa.
But they're Racing Bull, not Red Bull.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they just put RB.
Visa Racing Bull.
Yeah.
Visa Racing Bull.
What was the other one? Like Kick Steak F1.
I wish they had got Boss. That would have been cool.
Yeah.
Why is it?
Because they were...
Visa Cash App Red Bull.
Oh god.
Yeah. They've got a doco on YouTube I haven't watched yet as well.
YouTube.
Yeah.
Who?
So embarrassing.
Their whole season last year, 90-minute doco. I haven't watched it yet, though. So I can't tell you if it's good, but I spotted
Red
it
Bull?
yesterday. The new one. Visa Cash App.
Oh,
About Alpha Tauri
right.
last year.
Right.
All right, are we going to talk about anything else?
Yeah, probably should talk about
Formula
business. Probably should talk about business. Oh, and your shoes. You want to talk about your shoes?
In this
Fresh
week's
We don't need to. We
So,
just need to show them
feed
off.
update, you gotta describe him.
Having things is fun, but buying things is funner.
Yeah.
I agree.
Slay.
I agree.
And that has been me over the last month, and I need to stop. I have a problem.
There's a comic.
It's still Christmas.
It's still my birthday.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
It's
January.
birthday month.
It was January. Now it's not.
Now
All right.
it's frugal February
Yeah.
now, Jason.
We're poor.
Oh, that made me sad. Frugal February.
Yeah, it's Christmas month and it's birthday month.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's your son's birthday month. You get to join in on January.
Yeah.
Yeah, treat
I'm
yourself.
spending heaps of money, just none on me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Vibe.
I forget what I was going to say. Ruined it.
Our shoes are nice and yours aren't.
Yeah, basically. Look, on purpose,
And
to be fair.
discuss. Today.
To be fair, it was on
And
purpose.
discuss.
Just today. Like,
So
you've
this-
got fresh kicks.
This episode's out before the other one when we do the full breakdown.
Yeah.
But
Check in for
this-
Wednesday.
The t-shirt is ironic. Like, just calm down. It's supposed to be funny. I'm not taking myself seriously.
Just
wearing
like
a
the
buff.
word slay and the word bro.
Yeah, could
It
stick.
starts ironic
Buff
and
Daddy
it's
is
gonna
going to
stick.
stick.
Say my name. Say my name.
Oh my god.
Respectfully, no.
Following on from the last question of fit.
Make sure you tune in on Wednesday.
I feel like I was the only one who really went in on that question. You guys let me down.
Everyone's tiptoeing around it.
I
Yeah, you
am
guys let me down.
I just agreed with everything you said.
No,
Just
I'm
let me
a-
down, though.
Okay.
Just let me down.
I'm
I feel
sorry.
like everyone's just like, this guy's a fucking fiend.
Nah.
No, I had to tone myself down because I'm a female. There's only so many things I can talk about publicly.
Well, that's
without
why I wanted to
hopping.
ask about when you weren't here, but you guys encouraged me to do it.
Send it.
Schley.
So you have to tune in to Wednesday.
Now we've established that we have no boundaries, so that's fine.
Oh,
Someone needs to ask
absolutely
us a question about shit, and then we've like covered all bases.
Boundaries are
Absolutely
boring.
not. Yeah, absolutely.
So I need to say thank you to the both of you, well, all four of you, holding down the fort 2 weeks.
Welcome.
I
me
haven't
to-
been back in a meeting yet, so it could be a shit show. But by all reports, things have gone pretty well.
It took me till 3 days ago to work this whole thing out, but we made it.
We're all gonna make it.
So you know you said everything takes longer because the team's bigger. You weren't wrong.
Yeah.
You weren't wrong. I was sitting there like, fuck, we need to do all this shit, and it's just like it was just getting done. It just gets done
Yeah.
a little bit longer. So you're gonna sit there and be like, so how are we on all this? I'm like, it's moving.
Yeah. Stuff has happened.
Yeah, it's moving just really fucking slow.
Yeah.
Jason, 5 days in. Yeah, it's just so weird. Like everyone wants to talk to me.
No. It's like I'm overwhelmed because everybody needs my time.
Yeah.
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 Even like it was
Can be tough to get shit done.
it was an increase in my clients and socially, and then this
Yeah.
all at the one time, and I was
Yeah.
like, I am only one person. It's Zooms all day. Like, it was Wednesday, it was just Zoom day.
Yeah.
You can just change it to Zoom
I
day.
have a few of those.
Yeah, so Monday, Tuesday, Zoom day, Thursday, Friday.
Yeah. Don't
Just like
add
that.
one-on-one business coaching.
Mm.
Gets hectic.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah.
Just sit
I
there
think
the
I've
rest of
done
the day.
6 in a day.
Yeah, I've got to get a walking mat. Need
Yeah,
to get
they're
one.
good.
Yeah.
They're good.
Yeah, I'm like I have like $1,000 or whatever dollar treadmill in my garage that's just got like shit all over it.
Yeah, because it's too big to bring inside.
Yeah, I can't carry it in, and it's just too chunky.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get a walking mat instead.
And spend another $1,000.
Yeah. Because buying things is fun.
There's a British comedian that's got a bit about he got $8,000 from something, and people were like telling him to buy stuff, and he's like, so the problem with having $8,000 is to have $8,000, you've got to not spend $8,000.
Yeah.
So it costs you $8,000 to have
$8,000.
$8,000.
Man's got a point.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gold.
Yeah. I won $20 in the lotto last night.
Oof.
Congratulations,
Yeah.
Was that the
baller.
200
Yeah, I told Steph, I'm like, you can tell the boss to fuck off now. We've made it.
You should get a pair of
It's like, you
Jordans
know
to
what?
congratulate yourself.
Grilled is on me for you. I'll have to pay for
You
my
won't
own.
even get to.
Grilled tonight, you can, it's my shout, love.
You got fish and chips lately?
So, hey,
Shit's so expensive.
hey, I got fish and chips from Gisborne Fish and Chip
Yeah,
Shop.
you did. It's the best.
Bro,
Donnie's.
so good.
Shouts out Donnie's. We
We-
got it that night.
Dude,
Elite.
Steph and I still talk about it.
Elite.
Because Steph really likes fish and chips.
Yeah.
Like for me, I'm like, yeah, every now and then. It's too much fat for me, you know?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, not from it's just I don't eat it a lot, so it's just really
Digestion.
overwhelming.
I'll
to
give
eat.
you
Terrible.
I'll give you my order and you'll.
But the
you'll be fine.
the potato cakes,
Yeah. Scallop potatoes for the New South Wales.
yeah,
Bulls.
the crunch,
You're wrong, but
yeah,
Yeah.
just to translate
A
for you.
scallop is something completely different, but that's,
They live in the ocean.
yeah.
you can take your palmies there too.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
So 2 grilled fish,
yeah.
2 steamed dimmies,
Mm.
2 potato cakes. Chips are optional.
Going fried on the dimmies, but yeah.
So
Is this
you
for one
won't
person?
feel as shit, so you'll have fish and chips.
No, I can't. It's like a gluttonous thing where I'm like, I've got to go all out, so I don't eat it frequently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like if you eat half of the tub of ice cream, you'll feel fine. And so
But you never do.
So you eat the whole tub and you're like, oh, I feel sick. And then
Yeah,
you're like,
I
I won't
won't
do
do
this.
that.
I won't do this for another 2 weeks.
What was that? Was it in the last podcast? Fine line between pleasure and pain.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I legit, like, for those that didn't see the story, I've discovered there's a new Maxibon out that's caramel.
Mm.
And it is elite.
I've got to get one.
It is the best single serve ice cream out.
No.
It is. Hands down.
When
You
It
can't,
just is.
you
when you
can't
posted-
disagree when you haven't had it.
What's your favorite?
Oh, I'm
Like
a
paddle
connoisseur.
pop or something?
I'm
or-
a connoisseur girly.
On a stick?
Yeah, but on a
Yeah,
stick.
yeah. The salted.
On a stick.
The only time I'm buying connoisseur is to do what Jay said and eat half the tub and
Nah.
go, I should stop and continue to finish the tub.
I shouldn't have done it, but it was worth it.
sea salt, caramel, and pretzel.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's got
yeah.
all the
Yeah.
And you still think that the Maxibon is better than that. Maxibon is just not as good for
single
quality.
serve. I disagree with that.
Yeah.
All right, you know what?
You know what, the only
I'll
way
try it tonight.
we have to have one each, and everyone gives their own opinion.
All right, you've all got homework tonight. Go buy some
I
ice
can't
cream.
have any more for 2 weeks
Why?
because I'll have a fear of them.
Why?
So when I first met Jace, he'd just come off the back of
Yeah, you
knee
can say you get
surgery.
fat.
And all he did when he had knee surgery was play computer games and eat Maxibons. And
Yeah.
he's told this
However-
story in front of me like 1,000 times.
But my sister-in-law at the time worked for, is it Streets that make them?
Yeah.
Oh,
And she bought, like the
That's
box.
dangerous.
Like the distribution box.
Yeah.
It's not the box that you get from
Box
the
of
shop.
6, yeah.
It's a cardboard box.
of the boxes.
You open it up and there's just little white packets of Delight lined up one after the other, and like I could hobble to the toilet, and we had a chest freezer in the house,
Of course.
of course, and it was just like 3 or 4 hobbles to the left of the hallway. So I watched Breaking Bad and the whole of Sons of Anarchy at the time, and I just ate Maxibons like fat fuck.
Okay, so Ben.
So now I have heard that story
Yeah.
so many times that I'm like, Maxibon equals obesity.
Yeah,
So I'm
it's the only
just
time.
like, I can't buy lots of them.
It's the only time Steph reverts back to that period and says, when you were fat. and actually means it. Yeah, like she's like, remember when you were fat? And I was like,
Yeah.
I still struggle
No,
with it.
I
Thank
do.
you.
Yeah, and I'm like, yeah, I do.
So there's two things that I have. Well, a real one, which is Haagen-Dazs salt and caramel.
Yep.
Because I was 4 kilos underweight 6 weeks out from comp. Then I made weight with Haagen-Dazs. So I'm very careful with my Haagen-Dazs purchases.
I reckon
The
4
infrequent.
of those 6 kilos was non-contractile body weight.
100%.
That's being generous.
And 3 of them were on the back of my head.
That's generous. Out of that 6 kilos, that P ratio is not favourable.
Nah. I filled out the sauce. It's all that matters. There's a photo of me
That's the
eating a
best.
red skin like this.
Yeah,
I have like 3 neck rolls.
He could have put a couple behind the back of his head. One for me,
Thick boy.
one for you.
Thick boy. Yeah. But I came back the same weight next year straight. It's fine.
Yeah. The body composition. That deadlift photo,
Yeah.
it's like, live for that now.
hedged.
Live for that.
Hedged. And then that's what I needed another year at the 100 kilos because I would have looked less shit.
Yeah.
So yeah, I have a fear of eating
So why
too
did
many
you
things.
have to increase your weight?
I didn't. That's one.
That's the best part.
Yeah,
It wasn't a smart decision.
Kind
It
of a
was
question.
just a choice that I made.
We don't ask questions like that on this podcast.
You were like, yeah, I was like, blah, 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 kilos short. Yeah, so you're in the weight class below.
No, it wasn't that long.
No, it was just to fill it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, and big is always better.
100%. It was not dieting. It was definitely
Wait.
not dieting.
More weight.
Weight moves
Spent my
weight.
whole life trying to get bigger.
Yeah,
not
weight
getting
moves weight.
smaller.
Hey, come on, get with the program.
All right,
To be fair, my bench did go up.
Yeah.
that's good.
What'd you
Yeah.
bench? No.
Because the bar had to travel less.
Exactly.
125 for 5?
He got me by 5. I'm pretty upset about it.
What do you mean?
So I did that wave load block I did. I hit 120.
Oh, yeah, but like...
Oh, you know what the common denominator is? I was there for both of those.
Yeah.
There you go.
all
You guys
Jess.
have to bench with me more
You know, I was
frequently.
more happy about not being in pain.
He was
than
going to say not hurting yourself.
I'm going to put Jason through a bench-only powerlifting prep, and he's only allowed to introduce the barbell 4 weeks out.
Yeah, and like once a week.
And the last
Well, with
week,
her.
he's not allowed to touch it. And then we're just going to YOLO it after 2 weeks.
So I did think about doing a 1RM. I was like, if your pec explodes, like even if you
Yeah.
did it, it's like you got nothing out of it.
Yeah, literally.
Just,
like-
just an
Yeah.
extra traction on the reel.
Yeah, I won the 1 to 2 p.m. Platinum Friday powerlifting competition between myself and no one else.
You were the biggest person there, so that's all that matters.
It's the powerlifting version of the bedroom Olympia. It's like I won.
We've all seen the Larry Wheels video.
Yeah, no, we don't want to watch that.
Yeah.
What one?
You know when like
the
pecs?
tear.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
To be fair, he did it on the incline, but
yeah. That's a lot of them are done on incline.
yeah,
Yeah, very dangerous position.
because more stretch. Hey,
Yeah, more unstable, I guess too.
Right. Not a good barbell.
More that could go wrong. More that, yeah.
Do it in the Smith rack.
yeah.
It's just not it. I
I
just
just don't do it.
yeah, I just don't like that movement.
Incline barbell press.
Do not like it.
Yeah, I haven't done an incline barbell press in a while. My shoulders feel pretty good.
I haven't
too.
actually seen. Wow, coincidence.
Yeah,
Someone sent me one the other day of a guy doing reverse grip,
Yeah.
but
Rows?
like 200. No, bench for like over 200 kilos.
Oh, doesn't someone say it's like good for
Good
their
your
shoulders?
shoulder, yeah.
Eugene rates it.
Eugene, yeah.
Okay.
He's the only one I've seen in my feed doing it.
Yeah.
He does that, and
This
he
guy
does the
was-
funky dips as well.
Yeah. This guy was much
Forgot which-
bigger and stronger than Eugene.
Yeah.
Carries more weight than
Oh yeah,
because it's just
yeah,
how
yeah. I
strong
saw a meme. I saw a meme, and it was just like, all that evidence is all good and well, but I'm bigger than you.
Fucking hell.
But then what do
Yeah.
what do the 61 kilo girlies have to say to that? Because I'm like, that's not good, but
No, it's just funny because
Doesn't
you know
matter
it's like
anyway.
It's not
it
real.
doesn't matter in any
Yeah.
argument. It's just like even if someone just like puts all this evidence together, you're just like,
shut up, I'm bigger.
I'm fucking bigger than you, bro. Like clearly that comes into your head,
Yeah.
especially if you're losing. If you're
When you
losing
start
the-
losing, that's
if you're
when it
losing
comes
the
out.
debate, you're just like, it's fucking midget.
Yeah.
I reckon you could still confidently say that line, Jess.
You can
That
just
I'm
say
bigger.
it stronger.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm stronger than you. Definitely.
That's probably
So
true.
pound for pound, I got you, bus.
yeah.
At me at least 3 times a week. I got told in my DMs this week that my dumbbell incline press setup was excessive and that I should just move some weight. And that same person that exact same person
Lifted
said,
less.
no, lifted more, but said, yeah, I usually only feel mine in my front delts, but I send it. And as long as my
God.
chest looks bigger over time, then I don't care. And I was like, first of all, you're actually smaller than me as a male. Like, first
You
of all.
should just move weight too. Like, what's that mean?
Yeah, like you should just full send it. And I was like, I did, but with that technique. So the ironic part was like, yeah, I just like load my front delts. And I was like, yeah, that's exactly what I was doing when I was doing the same thing as you.
Yeah.
So now we're here.
Now I have pec veins.
Now I have pec veins. But one episode we should just go through my DMs and then you guys can see what
That
everyone.
would be so entertaining. Traumatic for you,
got anxiety
possibly,
already.
but
Yeah, that'd
No,
be a lot.
Oh, it's just like lifting.
Yeah,
Nothing
critiques.
like nothing too crazy.
I never get any.
It's because you don't
No,
have
no,
a vagina.
no. But but it doesn't just happen to you.
No.
So it happens to like younger lifters as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
Just don't get
Yeah.
any of that. Have you?
You did
thought?
on TikTok.
yeah, I was gonna say if you want that, just post it.
Oh my god.
So you did
No,
it's
tapering off now. But I went savage at the start. Not savage,
In
just
your replies.
blunt.
Yeah.
Not savage as in attacking to the person.
Yeah.
Oh, actually,
Kind of.
may have said that someone was blind in the comment. But you know what it is? They don't watch the video, bro. So they watch the first 3 seconds and then they comment. They don't watch the whole video.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's because that's all their attention span allows for
Yeah, but-
because they're from that generation.
It's a pretty big eye opener, though. Again, if you want to get grounded, it's another good place. Because people still can't fathom that you can work multiple muscles at once.
yeah.
So like I swear, Tam, next time we're at Platinum, we're going to go through the hammer strength decline press, right? And I'm going to show everyone the amount of movement that goes through the elbow,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And when you extend the elbow, you get tricep activation, right?
Funny that.
So when you do it on your arm day,
Yeah.
people are like, I just don't understand why you would do that on your arm day. Doesn't it work the chest? Like, even if it works the chest, it still works the tricep. Like, you know what I mean?
And you're not, even if it doesn't, you're not allowed to work some chest on it.
Yeah.
Like-
But this person will do like dips for tricep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so what? You fucking chest is like they still just like this without this, like have to just work this. So it's
only
pretty good
goes
for that.
Yeah.
But like, oh man, just the comments, dude, and like full confidence. Dude's arm is like 3 of my fingers.
Yeah.
I'm like, you get it, King.
Yeah.
Like,
Do you
go
think
for
it's
it, bro.
just like it's obviously just like a blatant disrespect thing, right? Like I'm obviously I'm not an authority in muscle building of the pec. So this man who has bigger pecs than me sounds so fucking dumb to say it out loud, but he's like, well, like you're not an authority in this, so I have weight to say that. So if there's another new coach that's younger, they're like, well, you don't. Like, you're only new to this and I've been doing this longer than you, so there's that. Whereas, like, on Instagram versus TikTok, because TikTok, you're only new.
Yeah.
Instagram, they're like, well, Jace is the guy. He's been saying X, Y, Z about muscle building for this long, so I'm not
Yeah, I
going
know
to
you
fight
mean.
him on it.
I think in their defense, there's a lack of communication because there's been other comments where they're like, you clearly know what you're doing. Why do you do this?
Yeah.
So that's
There's
where like
ways to go about it.
it's kind of like when I write a message, I address the issue and then I put the hey, how's it going? Or hey, thanks for the message. And then I'm like, if you need anything else.
Yeah.
So I feel like sometimes that generation are just like, I just need to know the answer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then it just comes out like bang.
Yeah.
But then like, yeah, they were kind of having this like full conversation and they're just like, yeah, I just don't know why you would do that. And then like I put one up about, it was like a chest and back day. So I'm just like, chest and back, whatever. And this guy's just like, looks like pool day to me. And then I'm like, you fucking blind? I'm like, are you blind or you don't know your exercises?
Yeah.
And then he's like, oh, I didn't watch the full video. And I'm like, well,
God.
I said, maybe you should watch the video before you decide to shit on someone's video.
Hey, comments equal traction, right?
Yeah, and that's why I was going back. It's just like, you can't do that. And I'm like, fucking absolutely I can.
Yeah.
Yeah, watch me.
Yeah, I'm not going to sit here and just be like, yeah, you can say whatever you want on my page. Fuck that.
Yeah.
Just
Like,
the fact, like what's standing out to me is they're not on the platform to learn. They're there to shoot other people down.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
TikTok. TikTok is the comments.
where it works though, it's true, but they also just want to learn like quick
Yeah.
stuff. Like, so that's why I just put my workouts on there.
Yeah.
Because they always get saves. So I'm like, I know you're
Right.
doing my workout.
Yeah.
It's like, I know you're doing that workout. Like, they're just like, yeah. And I think, fuck it, just do that. Because
Yeah.
it's like, they're not going to absorb.
Do it for the 10 people that are going to go do it.
Yeah, they're not
Yeah.
going to absorb the information. Like, you can't put out the same stuff on Instagram that works on TikTok. Like, well, that's what I've seen so far, but maybe I refuse to put the effort in. I'd rather just put it into,
Yeah.
YouTube and TikTok, YouTube and Instagram at the moment.
In our media experience, that has been the case where Instagram does not translate over.
Yeah, and it's like,
No.
the two dudes in their fucking mid-30s, like, can't hit the demographic on TikTok. Who would have fucking thought?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
and it's like, and they feel more comfortable on YouTube. Who would have thought? Like,
Yeah.
the most male-dominated
Surprise.
platform.
Yeah, and long form, which we're better at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's working into your strengths, right?
Yeah. Wild.
How'd we get here?
Don't know. Just went there.
Yeah.
Ferrari, huh?
Go Tam.
Quick break in the episode, guys. I just want to ask you one question. Are you running a business or are you working a job? Running a business means thinking like a business owner, having systems that do all the grindy work for you, a service that's guaranteed to get your clients results, social media and referrals that are driving business to you, and getting leads that you always close. If instead you feel like you're lost, you're stuck, you're at the mercy of your clients, you're just working another job. If that's you, you need to check out Standout PT. It's our signature education program, a 26-week online course designed to take you from working a job to actually running a business. The average coach that goes through Standout PT and completes all the modules gets a 300% increase in revenue inside their business. We have weekly workshops, weekly Q&As, and over 30 units for you to go through, all with text and video to make sure you're totally covered for everything you need in your business. Just head to stcfit.com, navigate to the Standout PT page, and book yourself a free, no obligation discovery call and see if Standout PT is right for you. Back to the show. So I've been collating reflections of the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Because I said I got handed the USB of enlightenment and became a father.
Oh, yeah,
Yes.
yeah. So now you're an elite joke teller.
Yeah. And I'm also hero of wisdom now because I'm a
Right.
father. Yeah, I don't know.
Definitely puts his hands on his hips and looks at the lawn after he mows
Yeah,
it.
that's
Oh,
that
I
also
do-
is
I
on
do
there.
that.
The lawn.
Yeah, you have a dog.
Smoking
That's
meat.
a catharsism. He's just like,
Yeah.
I did that.
So the first one that I've written down is average is horrible. So just like throughout our process, we've done nothing normal. But just like, so one thing that stands out, right? So obviously home birth and all that, people have their own opinions and stuff of that. But the midwife basically said within half an hour of us kind of getting settled, like, that was a pretty big deal. He was in this position, blah, blah, blah. Looking at him, looks like he's carrying some tension. If you know a good osteo, might be a good idea. I booked it in 10 minutes.
Yep.
Whereas the average answer is like,
He'll be right.
we'll just let it go. I'm a bit scared.
We'll
or
see.
She'll be
whatever. Just like the average response to everything is just like, just won't look at it and everything will be fine. Just like refusing to do that.
Not action taking.
Yeah. And then like taking it out of like having a kid, looking at what the average Australian physique is, what the average bank account looks like, what the average fulfillment looks like, all of that stuff. Just like, fuck. And then we're, particularly the people we deal with, so scared to take chances and to stand out and to not fit in. And we've done it like with our friends and all that kind of stuff. Like we're so afraid of being different, but it's like when you really look at what quote unquote, what do they say? It's common, not normal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a badge of honor at the end of the day
Yeah. It's
to
like,
not be average.
yeah, it's horrifying.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's my first one.
Slay.
Nothing. Chase looks like he's about to speak and then didn't.
I think. Do you feel that people who make decisions though don't get decision fatigue at the same capacity as people who don't make decisions, so that's more overwhelming for them? Because I look at you and I make lots of decisions,
Yeah.
and we take action,
Yeah.
as well, right? So
Yeah,
you got to have the action part. I get it, and I've got a mate of mine like he's action based as well, but his job has a lot of decisions, even micro decisions that need to get made, and he runs his own business, whatever. So that person to sit there and say to you, like, the baby is looking this, suggest this, right? You're just going to be like, I make decisions all the time. Bang, done, 10 minutes. Where someone who doesn't make a lot of decisions, like, gets overwhelmed. It's the, like, I'm so busy and, like, they've got nothing on for the day.
Yeah.
And then, we sit there and like, oh, look at our day, So, I think in some aspects, like, if you're a go-getter and you make lots of decisions, like, taking action's easier.
I agree.
And
so it's a lot more overwhelming for them.
So it's a practice skill.
The only way to get better at it is to get good at taking action on things immediately.
Yeah. I can't remember her name. She's like a middle-aged blonde American that kind of came into the sphere for a bit and
very unique,
disappeared.
Yeah, right. Wow. Never heard of her.
So I just like totally described her perfectly for you. I saw a reel that she put out once that said you have 5 seconds to act on a impulse, and if you don't, you're allowing that kind of loop to begin.
Yeah.
So it's like, I should go to the gym. 5 seconds, stand up. Otherwise, you're like, I could go tomorrow.
Yeah.
Like that is
so
how.
Don't give yourself the opportunity.
Yeah. So the second you think about need to get up, get up.
That's like the best example I think of that is getting up in the morning with your alarm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not snoozing your alarm.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, it's time to get up.
Yeah.
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 So, like you said, people who aren't practiced in action. I need to think about this. 5 seconds go by. Here's all the reasons that I'm too overwhelmed, or this is too hard, or I don't have enough information. Blah, 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 bang.
Yeah.
And then you have like the hormoses and all that kind of stuff. Like, I think it's Layla says the number one deciding factor on the success of a business is speed of decision making.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They always go on about they just make decisions faster. Like what takes you a week takes us an hour. So we're making on average, even if our decisions aren't always better, we're making more of them.
Correct.
Therefore, we make better decisions more frequently.
Yeah, because you learn more and exponential growth over time.
Yeah,
So-
even if 1 in every 3 decisions is bad, the more decisions being made, like you said, are still greater than the bad ones.
Yeah. So if the average person doesn't make decisions a lot, then gets confronted with how many times have we had an online inquiry come in that goes cold?
Yeah.
Impulse, bang.
Yeah.
Too much time, or I don't want to make a decision now.
Yeah. So we got to move so hot. Even like you see it just socially, it's like, oh, we should do this. And I'm like, we can do this, we can do that, we can do this time, right? And then I've got my other mate, we go back and forth, back and forth. We can have something organized. Like I messaged him Thursday, and dinner's booked for Saturday night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where like other people, it's like, it's not that they have a family and this and that, because I can just come to your house.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't have to be, but it's just like, I'll let you know. Yes,
So
and it's
we should catch up with no intention
such
of
an
booking something in.
insignificant decision, but it is a decision that they're not used to making at the time or whatever. And then it's just like, nah, it's too hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then obviously being the personal trainers podcast, it's like make the calls.
Yeah.
Do your consult. Post the thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just take the action then. Get used to it.
Send the DM.
Yeah.
Like just do the step every single time.
Even because this actually works really well timing wise. Like we went over the coaching strategies in Standout for this week, and what I added, because I felt like there was huge holes in coaching strategies for clients, because not everybody is that like collaborative, democratic, holistic coach. Like sometimes an athlete needs an autocratic do this now, and that can change based on the person.
Yeah.
And knowing that exists, like you have to make a decision there and then for a person.
Yeah.
Like if you have someone who's like 3 weeks out from a powerlifting meet, there's not a lot of democratic decisions or collaboration on that. It's like, do it.
Do this.
And you have to act there and then, where sometimes it's like, oh, I'll wait for you to get back to me. Well, here's what you have to say. And, we'll come out with a plan on the other side. Tremendously good strategy for a lifestyle client.
Yeah.
Or like a personal trainer who wants to feel involved in the coaching process, because you and I coach a lot of coaches. But that's not always the case.
Yeah.
And that's one of the big weaknesses that I highlighted in that particular workshop, was like the messaging. It's like, hang on a minute. We're getting too far over to this, like, we need to take a minute to make an action. Yeah. And I'm like, you go anywhere else where it's just like, I'm a specialist and you've come for an outcome and there's no collaboration. They're just like, we're doing this at this time.
Yeah. I think even like the coaching, so we use the reach model and sometimes the motivational interviewing thing. It's like the plan's done. The conversation is then about how you do the plan.
Yeah.
It's not about the plan.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? So it is
yeah.
like directionary and like this week program looks like this is the nutrition plan that I've decided is going to be right for you. This is the lifestyle changes you need to make. Now we're going to have conversations about you implementing them because you're not executing in the way that they probably should.
Yeah.
So we can collab on how we get that done, but what we get done is built by the trainer.
Yeah, and once it's set, it's
unless there's
make
a huge like fuck bro, like I can only train 3, not 4 or whatever.
Yeah.
Like
you have to
it's
adjust
a big
the plan
change,
again.
but that plan's still the plan.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah, so I think a lot. Yeah, you will get better at taking action by taking action, no matter how big or small, immediately.
Yeah.
We got a comment from Dalton.
Sup, Dalton?
Says, welcome back, Ben.
Thank you, sir.
And he also points out that clarity matters as well. So if you don't have that,
Yeah.
then
Absolutely.
the cost of not making a decision is greater.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. It's funny you said like how often we make decisions and stuff. And I don't want this. By all reports, Amy and I have had a pretty good first 2 weeks. Even birth, the whole thing's been pretty seamless.
Yeah.
We're not up all night with a screaming child or anything like that.
Yeah.
But we're talking about it yesterday. And she was like, how are you doing? Are you okay? Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, this feels like a holiday to me.
Too easy.
I'm like, I don't want to be a dick.
Got this on record now. Timestamp. 24 minutes in.
I said for her, it was almost like the hardest part happened and then she's figuring out him and how that's all going to work. So her kind of peak stress load sort of happened and now it's getting easier. And I'm sort of looking at like, this is really easy now because it's less than what I do on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah.
I have less people demanding my time. I have less pressure. I have less overheads. It's like I have to keep one person alive and the other one fed and hydrated. Like it's okay.
Yeah.
Knowing that I'm going to have to go back and now do both, it's like this is an elevating, and we've got 2 gym contracts that are going to be signed next week and blah, blah, blah. It's like this is a increasing thing. So I think there's huge validity in the idea that a decision-making is a trainable skill.
Yeah.
And I use that 5-second thing all the time now.
Yeah.
Just one of those like memes are just stuck in my head. Just like, fuck, you got to go. Otherwise.
Yeah, it never happens. Or
Yeah.
the likelihood of it happening.
When you
is
know better, you
significantly
do better, and that's an example of it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really interesting. Second one. Just a cool reminder that I really love what I do. You guys were giving me shit like Jace was saying week 2. He's like, Ben wants to come back to work.
Oh, yeah. I could feel it, let alone see it. The engagement in the first week was 0, which was totally expected.
That's what,
But then, even when I saw you, I was like, fuck, I want to talk to you about work so bad. And I was like, I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
And I was waiting for you to ask me. Like, I could kind of feel it, but I was like, I hope we don't, but I really want to at the same time. Just had so much to tell you.
Yeah.
And then, the
Well,
second
you
week,
both came over and nothing.
I kind of made a conscious decision. I was like,
Yeah.
if he talks to
Same.
me about it, I will.
Yeah.
But then, but in the later in that week, like, I think I sent you a message and was expecting like a day reply. It was like 3 minutes.
Yeah.
I
Well, I actually turned Slack off the first week.
Yeah, good idea.
And then you needed something and I turned them back on. I was like, this is fine.
There
Yeah,
were a few
yeah.
questions. So the first work-related question that I asked Ben was, hey, Jason and I have decided that we only want to go to Queensland for 3 days.
Yeah.
Is this okay with you?
Made some-
I need to know because I'm booking the flights.
Made some big calls while you're away. You know?
Yeah, big calls.
Groundbreaking.
Big moves, Chase.
Less travel time.
Making moves.
Saved
Yeah.
time, saved a bit of money. This guy at the top.
That was the first. I was like, fuck, like, I'm so sorry, but this is like, I need to ask you. I can't wait.
The funny thing is I wanted to do that, but I was like, it's a bit too much pressure on the guys to rush around like that. So I'll make it longer.
No, I am
No,
like,
we're all just like, we want to go home.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm
traveling
trying.
last year, I was just like, fuck, less time the better.
I was like, okay, I'm responsible now for keeping to budget. Like, this is the first time I'm the one booking the flights and everything. I was like, I want this to be cheap.
Yeah.
I do not want to not see my child for 5 days.
Yeah.
Let's go in and go out, and I'd rather be stressed for time than stressed from time away.
Yeah, look, if it wasn't Steph's birthday the following weekend, I probably would have stayed for
Longer.
Yeah.
Take your time. Yeah, sweet.
And then I slowly, like, we would start talking in the second week, same deal.
Yeah.
If I posted a story, I didn't even tag you in my stories for a few of things, like of my lifting stuff, because I was like, Don't even talk
Stop
to me
working.
about it. But then when we started, you would like ask me how my lifts were. I was like, oh, okay, he's
He
like
actually does care.
eating.
He really does like his job again.
Yeah.
Yeah, the coaching thing really stood out to me.
Yeah.
And I won't lie, there's been parts in the last 5 years where I've been like up against it with coaching. Like 3-6 month blocks where I'm like, fuck, this is hard.
Yeah, lockdown was tough. And post.
Yeah.
that was like,
Yeah.
whoa,
Yeah,
it's
but at
real
the
tough.
moment, it's just like client base is really good. There's lots of comps happening. Everyone's progressing really well. I
Yeah.
get along with everyone. I was
Yeah.
like, fuck, I miss my clients.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think, when you don't utilize your skill set, you realize that you have one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like one of my clients jumped on a call with her. She just said something about just being tired. And I'm like, what time do you wake up today? What time do you
Yeah,
normally wake
yeah.
up? There's a 2-hour gap here. If you want to do this, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, if you went back to sleep, you got stuck in this sleep cycle. She's like, fuck, how do you, she's like, what the fuck? Like, you know all of this stuff? Like, she's
Yeah.
like, you know a lot. And I was like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, you just forget.
Yeah.
So even like when you haven't seen a bench press and a deadlift and someone's, kind of giving you all these bits of feedback, you don't realize that you miss it because you can't use what you have.
Yeah.
But if you see it all the time, you're just like, this is just another day.
Yeah. This is why I
Uh,
do.
Using my skills
Yeah.
subconsciously almost at sometimes, you're just like, I know the problem, I can fix it straight away.
Yeah.
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 I
Yeah.
had-
I missed it a lot more than I thought I would.
Yeah. I think a good break every now and then like that does kind of ground you and allow you to appreciate what you
Yeah.
do.
And I think I've never actually taken time off check-ins.
Yeah.
No. Yeah.
Even when I've traveled, I've always still done them.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've always still been plugged in.
Yeah.
So for 2 weeks to not do them, I was like, no, give it back.
Yeah.
Come back.
What's going on over there?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Especially with so many people like close to comps.
How did you feel surrendering everything to the four of us?
Pretty confident.
Yeah?
Yeah.
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 That's the first time, I think.
Well, it's the first time where you've had.
Oh, you
to
went
go
away. You went away, but we were allowed to.
The honeymoon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's less happening then, though.
That was
Yeah.
pre-Jess.
Yeah. And like, I think
There's a lot less happening.
That was a
Yeah.
stressful time.
not to
Life is better because I'm here.
blow
Of course.
smoke up your ass, but I think a lesson to pass on to others, because now we're working with quite a few people that are bringing on a team.
Mm.
The idea, and we preach about, if you can't take time off, you have a job, not a business. Like, we talk about that with PT all the time. If you can't replace yourself, it's a job, not a business.
Yeah.
To actually be able to do that this time.
Yeah.
And we've put people in place before to be able to try and do that, and it's never worked.
It just didn't get, nothing got done.
And there would have been so many times, and I've heard people say it just like, oh, people don't want to work, or like no one's invested enough, or
Yeah.
the quality shit, or whatever. Like, that they try it once or twice and like, fuck this.
Yeah.
To do it this time and see the level of quality still come through, I was like, fuck, it's possible.
Yeah.
It's just the right people in the right spots doing the right thing,
Yeah.
and you
Yeah.
can.
And the right preparation too. Like, I must admit, our styles really started to come out. Like, our dominant
Yeah.
Yeah.
styles started, because I was like, I need you to plan. Like, I needed, you know what I mean? I'm
I
like,
need to know what's going to happen.
Yeah, so you need to plan it for me. So
Yeah.
once I had it, I was like 100% confident.
Yeah.
But before that, I was like having a meltdown because I was just like, there's all these plates in the air and I don't know how to spin them,
Yeah.
or which ones to spin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So knowing that that's how the best way I work. If you know that for your staff, you can go, well, this is how I can best prepare my exit.
Yeah.
Or just my temporary exit for a period of time, and make sure everything gets run.
Yeah.
So once I had that checklist, I was like, oh, this is so much better. This is going to get so much more out of me, and I'm going to feel better that I contributed. Because let's be real, like, everyone wants to. You want to know, we want to know, like, we've contributed in the
Correct.
best way possible in your absence, not just like, I didn't want to just like
Survive.
hold. Yeah, I didn't want to just like tread the
Which
water.
is what we've done in the past.
Yeah, it's like, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. It's
Yeah.
just like, let's just keep everything as is.
Yeah.
It's like, fuck that. Like,
Yeah.
we need to make progress on shit.
Well, like, in the time that you're away, like, I have less responsibility than you have, obviously. But, like, in the time that you're away, I was, like, at one of our gyms, like, having meetings with people. And,
Yeah.
which is, like, typically the Ben job,
Yeah.
right? Like,
Yeah.
as in that, like, kind of thing. And I was like, okay, cool.
Yeah, it was sick.
We booked an entire, like, a trip while you weren't there.
Yeah.
Like, we locked in locations and all of that. Like, we did the giveaway and, like, all these things happening. I'm like, okay, cool. So, like, it's a good thing for me now to, and you guys have done a really good job of of like continuing to develop my role within the business with things that actually suit me. As I've gotten more confident, you're like, oh, this is a better job for you actually. Like, what do you like? But also this is what you're better at. Like, it's been like a really nice combination of, and this is, you know, from the other side of it, like you talking about hiring and me being on the other side being hired, like that is important. Obviously matching skill sets with tasks and job roles. But knowing that now I will stop and pause before instantly just like asking you guys a question.
Yeah.
Because it's like when you weren't here, well, I didn't need to ask it. I just kind of figured it out, didn't I? So being on that end, it's like, cool. Yes, you guys will answer the questions and you are accessible, but you don't need to be.
Yeah.
And I think that was a cool like reflection point for me, being like, you don't need validation or you don't need permission. You can actually make decisions by yourself.
Yeah, it's increased trust in both directions.
100%.
Yeah. The decision making is a little harder, one step above that.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Because I'm making decisions
At a
that
director level, it's
moving the,
correct.
you know, but there were times when like I had to differentiate those decisions. I'm like, no, this needs to get done now because these guys won't do anything.
Yeah.
So I can't wait.
Yeah.
But it's like that didn't have a really huge overbearing impact on the whole business.
Yeah.
But then there were ones where I was like, that's where I was talking to you guys. I'm like, no, we need I need you to have input on this before we pull the trigger kind of thing.
Yeah, I like the only real work I've done in the last 2 weeks is contract negotiations.
Yeah.
Like I've been on the phone with Dad probably 3-4 times.
Yeah.
For an hour a time just to like nut out.
Yeah. Finer detail stuff.
Time-sensitive things that have a very, very large impact on the business.
Yeah, and it's like if we get them wrong now, or I think something different to he thinks, and then we sign a contract and it's like, oh, that's fucked us. That's not how I was going to run it or how you were going to run it. Like,
It's also a harsh reality of running businesses and being an entrepreneur. Like I said to Steph, I'm like, regardless of how you sugarcoat it, the way we live day to day, the lifestyle, the requirements to hit our goals, like the cost of that is like you literally almost all of the time are always on call.
Yeah.
Like even though you're off.
Yeah.
Like if something really, really pressing happened, it's like you still had to be available.
Yeah.
And that's just the way it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like Steph was like, yeah, I get that. It's the harsh reality of doing what you do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not just here's my application for annual leave and
and it's a pretty fucking fair trade-off, to be honest.
absolutely.
It's a pretty good trade-off.
Yeah, and that's why
pretty good.
Steph's always really like cool with like the laptop coming everywhere with us.
Yeah.
And even when we go away mid-year, I'm like, I have to bring it.
Yeah.
And she was like, absolutely. Like we can look at places that have like really good Wi-Fi. We can buy whatever we need so you can access internet at all times. Like, she's like, we can set you up so that you can just have half a day to do whatever you need to do whenever you want.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, cool.
It's a
Like,
trade-off.
totally. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, so the two things I mentioned were this. I said to you, I missed the pods heaps. Because we had, like, obviously Christmas break, had one episode back.
Yeah.
And then
Nothing.
2 gone. And it's funny, I spoke to Loz the first week when you did the workshop episode.
Yeah.
I was like, me watching that was the biggest roller coaster of emotion. Because I was like, FOMO that I wasn't there. Then I was like, what's the right word for it? I was like, fuck, Jace is doing such a good job.
Yeah.
I'm like, fuck, they don't need me.
Oh, really?
So it
like
was
this-
like
this is
proud
like-
but fear.
Yeah, it's like, Jace has delivered this better than what I would have.
I had to show
For
up.
this.
Yeah, but I had to show up so hard.
Mans did preparation.
Yeah. Like, I think, yeah.
So there was that, and then watching Annie grow through the episode,
Yeah.
watching Loz, who we know loves a chat, give Annie space. And I was just like, this fucking whole thing's amazing.
Yeah.
And I want to go run a
Like
workshop.
a proud dad.
Yeah.
Watching his kids.
So
go
by
to
the
work.
end, I was like, I didn't have to be there, and that happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's fucking cool.
Yeah, it's great to have quality come out without the involvement. Like even the workshop that the girls put together. Like just to be able
You
to
guys don't even know what it looked like.
No, just to sit back and know that went down and it was so well received and so well put together and all of that. I was like, this is
Yeah, the amount of ticket sales that came through.
Amazing.
Wild.
so yeah,
Yeah.
good to know that you can step away and we've got it.
Yeah.
And it's good to know I can do it now too.
You're going away mid-year.
Yeah, well that's the plan.
Comforting.
The plan.
Yeah.
So got to be able to you got to be able to do it once you have a team.
Correct.
So it's great to know that we can now. Because there's been other times where, like you said, it's like we step away because we need it / want it. nothing happens. I kind of don't want to do that anymore.
Yeah, or you end up doing the month you took off work in
the 2
before
weeks.
or after.
Yeah.
Yeah. One other thing that was a trip was just like the impact level. So my grandfather passed away a few weeks ago, and I think I said on the pod, so he was 83, I think. I'm just looking for a nod from the corner. Yeah. 83, and I totaled across 3 posts on Facebook 1,150 comments of like well wishes to him and the family. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
83.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Field of Church got like 2 guards of honor at the footy club, 1 for the footy club, 1 for the cricket club. I'm like, fuck, man.
Yeah.
That's such a big impact in your community.
Yeah.
To still have it then.
Absolutely.
So I was like, that at the time I was like, that's insane. And then obviously we posted about Elijah, and like we didn't get 1,100. But it was something like, I think the post got like 450 likes across, like collabed with Amy and then onto Facebook.
Yeah.
And there was probably 100 comments. And I was like, fucking hell, there's 400 people that give a shit enough to pay attention. And then the DMs and people that I hadn't spoken to since high school, or clients that I had when I first started and shit, they're like, oh, congratulations, or like, dad looks great on you, or whatever. It was just like, fucking
Buff Daddy Top looks good.
Yeah, super humbling to be like, okay, so the decade's worth it.
Oh.
Yeah. Like the needle's moved more than we probably realize.
The impact's greater than we think it is.
Yeah. And then it's worth it even for 10. Like if there's 10 people that you've been able to actually make an impact and make their life better, it's like it's worth continuing to do the thing.
Yeah.
As much as I just said the podcast's my favorite part, but it's worth dedicating the 5-6 hours a week to doing it because it's actually reaching people, which is cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. What else do I have? Quick episode break. You guys know, if you've seen anything that I create on my stories, my design skills suck. My socials still look good because we went and got help. Now you can too. STC's new web service can take your business branding and design to the next level. Ash and the team didn't just create templates for us. They dove into who we were, what we cared about, and what our message is, and helped us to design an overall brand that represents what we care about. We use their social pack every single day. They built our website, and they even helped us build out our app. All those services are now available to you. You just have to go to stcfit.com, navigate to web services, find out what it's all about, and book a free discovery call to see what is right for you. Don't care less, care about less things.
Oof. I like that. Jinx.
So I think, I don't know, maybe that's just a part of getting older. I feel like you and I have definitely...
Yeah, I think I wrote in because I just write shit.
Yeah.
You know, if you do that, just write what you feel.
Literally what this is.
Sometimes it never sees anything.
Yeah.
But it's like the older you get, the more you have to control your energy.
Yeah.
And it's not that you have, I don't know, like if you have more or less, it's just when you use it in greater amounts, the intensity of it, because the decisions and everything that when you use that energy has an effect. And if you care about absolutely everything, it even comes back to that lack of clarity and bad decision making. It's like, it clouds the time that you take an action to what action you take, all of that stuff. So I love it's like, the older you get, you kind of like think that people just have a shorter fuse. Yeah. They don't.
They just have less tolerance for certain things. I think that was becoming a parent put a lot of that into perspective for me. So obviously I am significantly younger than you.
Fucking call that however you like. Keep saying it. You got one more year, and then
it's over.
That digit's the same.
Yeah, but you're in the other side of the hump. But as age is obviously one thing. I became a mum at 26, and wild. I sound so young. I became a mum at 26, and for me it was like, well, I can't care about everything as much as I care about showing up as a mother. So, you're forced to compartmentalize how much you care about certain things and what you care about. And, I think, that's huge, the way that you just, simplified it. It's no, I care so intensely, but I do not have the energy, time, or capacity to care about everything this intensely.
Yeah.
So I just have to care about less things.
And I think a lot of even for us when we were younger, looking up, we're like, oh, I've kind of lost their passion a bit about. It's like, no, I just don't give a fuck if Lane Norton's fighting with someone on the internet. I was reading this message thread yesterday and him like going back at people, and I was like, back ages ago, this would have been like, wow, yeah, get him, and or like, I actually wrote a post yesterday. I wonder how many personal training clients have seen their PT post, I'm just a coach, you have to do the work, and then been inspired to go train. And I was like, so actually, I don't give a fuck. Like, I don't need to fire the shot at the trainers doing that. It's like, even I have now. But it's like, I actually don't care enough to go back and forwards with the conversations that are going to come with replies for this.
Yeah.
Because I want to get back to my team and do my thing and help my clients and help our trainers get their clients.
Yeah.
So I can maybe look at it and go like, oh, Ben and Jace used to be, I know at least for myself, used to be like really vocal about someone like a Michelle Bridges or whatever. It's like, I haven't lost it. I just care here versus way out there.
Yeah.
You're going to have greater impact on people. You're going to prioritize having greater impact on people's lives for the better rather than trying to inspire by insulting. Like, it's like,
Yeah.
You just get more dialed in.
Absolutely.
The older you get, the more, I guess, growth and development you have in your business. Because you get so dialed in specific on what you need to do, you inadvertently care less about everything else outside of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's no different to, rather than thinking about what you don't want to eat for your diet, think about what you should put in.
Yeah.
It's that same philosophy.
Yeah.
So you care less about the shit that doesn't matter because you care more about the things that do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you're so in. So when someone says, oh, have you heard so-and-so bitching with so-and-so? And you're just like, nah.
I
haven't.
Yeah.
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 It's a bit hard at the moment.
Well, yeah.
In the fitness industry.
But I only know that story because we have a relationship with it.
Yeah.
Like, it's,
She will not speak her name.
Yeah, the person.
She who shall not
You
be
fucking
named.
know.
No, but I get it. Yeah. But most of the time, it's like none of that. It's just blinkers.
Yeah.
And it's like, I've got to go and do whatever I need to do.
You guys have brought that to my attention massively since working with you. I'd be like, oh yeah, like, do you know X, Y, and Z? And you're like, respectfully, I don't really care.
Yeah.
Like, they're not going to affect the way we go about our business.
And it's more just so that Ben and I don't sound like a bunch of assholes.
Oh, what, you're not?
No, well, you know what it's more, we care more about everything we're doing that we don't want to care about that.
Yeah.
It's not that we just sit there and we're just like, don't give a fuck about
Plebs.
whoever. It's just that if it's not going to take us toward everything that we need to do, we've now got the skill to push it away. And it even sometimes, like, you have to, it can be in your face and you're like, fuck, I've got to move it.
Yeah.
We've got a lot of skin in the game and a lot of history with people.
Yeah.
And some of that stuff hasn't been that positive.
Yeah.
And it annoys us.
Yeah.
And it upsets us. And there's still bridges that haven't been, kind of repaired.
Yeah.
And we have to sit there and go, I need to care less about this.
Yeah.
Because I've got to care more about, because you only have like this container is only so full. And it's all of your emotional energy.
Yeah.
So you get to decide what you care more and less about. And I think the older you get it, the easier it gets, especially when you're dialed in.
Yeah.
The people that spread themselves are the ones that don't have a lot of ambition. I say to Steph all the time, I'm like, the reason why you don't get into all of these like gossip sessions is because you're so ambitious and you have shit to do.
Yeah.
So you want to do the thing. So I guess that's a greater example of that.
Yeah.
Tam's magic coffee just kicked in.
Group hug.
Actually, this is a good one that you're here for this one.
Okay.
So good, Tam. 16 minutes. I got you, Buzz.
Therapy won't ruin your drive.
Yeah.
So I was always terrified of going to therapy in my 20s because I was like, yeah, but the anger is what drives me.
Oh, okay.
It's like the Bruce Banner thing. Like, I'm always angry.
Yeah.
It's like...
Yeah, but he went to therapy.
Yeah. I'd go to therapy with Scarlett Johansson as well.
Yeah.
If that's taken away, who am I?
Yeah.
Do I still have the drive? Do I still, is
No, you
shit
lose
going to
your-
change?
Yeah, you lose your sense of humor.
Yeah, like, what happens? Who do I become?
Yeah, okay.
Like, fuck, maybe I won't be
It would-
as
I-
ambitious, as risk-taking, as passionate, as...
Well, I thought about that before I took like the mushies or whatever.
Well, and I was going to say, like, I know you've had that thought about
I was
hallucinogens.
Like, yeah,
like,
I was like, is this going to open up a box that I don't want to open up?
Yeah,
But you were
you-
like, you don't think that way now, so you'll be fine. And that's exactly
Yeah.
what happened.
yeah,
Yeah.
yes.
I get it.
Therapy helped me with what you guys just spoke about energy management. Therapy was I can be better at doing all of these things, and I can have better drive, and I can have a better concentration level, and like, so I'm like clinically diagnosed with ADHD, but like, I was like, well, I have a feeling that I have this thing, but it's just like a phase at the moment because everyone's got it.
Yeah.
So I was like, I don't need to go and get a diagnosis. I don't need to learn
Yeah,
about this, because then will I just take it on as an identity and use it as
Yeah.
an excuse?
Yeah.
But like, in turn, I've like learnt better time management strategies, and I've like learnt how to manage my energy and
Get the
my-
most out of yourself.
right, and
Yeah.
just become a better person overall.
Do you think it's because of like what the outside, like, because it's called therapy? Like, I wonder if it was called like self-performance management.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, if there's just another connotation to it, because it's like therapy means you're broken.
Yeah,
Yeah.
There-
It
therapy-
has that connotation.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
if I think therapy, it's like I think bad.
yeah,
And I think either like two people go to therapy, it's like their relationship
wrong.
is broken and
Yeah.
damaged.
yeah,
Yeah.
You never think like two people could go somewhere to enhance
Yeah.
like there's I hope nothing wrong with the relationship I have with my wife. Like, we're happy together, and I hope it seems that way. So we could go to therapy, people would be like, they're having problems.
Yeah.
yeah.
But if we went to like relationship enhancement,
Yeah.
they're like, oh, they're just
Go off,
two-
king and queen.
Yeah, it'd be
Yeah,
no
yeah.
different. Like, I don't know, if we just did an activity together that just spent
Yeah.
more time together and stuff. They're like, that's a way of enhancing your relationship. So they're like, that's amazing. But the word therapy is like, they're fucked up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's still got that connotation
Oh,
for sure.
My mom,
And like the two core therapists that I've worked with were high performance coaches.
yeah,
Yeah. That was their
That's it.
title.
And that's like who I want to go. It's like you're working at a therapy clinic and you're a psychologist, psychiatrist,
Yeah,
whatever.
Therapy's like the practice. It's kind of like the
Yeah.
overarching umbrella,
Yeah.
unfortunately, but it's like high performance management is the thing.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
It kind of sucks.
And then like even the breathwork weekend that we did was like, for me, it was like a year's worth of therapy in 2 days.
yeah.
It was like horrendously great.
Crying to a stranger riding on a board of wood, tremendously impactful as well.
Yeah.
Don't forget the karate chop.
Well,
Yeah.
the karate chop was like I was mortified
checked
because
out
I
by then.
cried. I was mortified because I cried to a stranger.
But even the people that ran that work with, like, Lucas got Travis Barker back on a plane
Yeah,
and worked with Jake Paul into his fights and you work with fucking high performance.
Yeah,
So this is a pathway to high performance. Give it to me.
yeah.
And it's like, oh, actually, the pathway to high performance is letting go of the shit that you're really angry about and upset about that drains all of your energy, so you can't give as much.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh, so the thing that I thought made me actually held me back. And I think there's probably, the reason I wanted to bring it up on the pod is there's probably a lot of personal trainers, and I've spoken to people in the last 2 months that have said exactly that.
yeah.
I'm too scared to unpack this, because what if I'm different?
Yeah. It's kind of like you only got that niggle in your shoulder.
I
Yeah.
don't really want to know.
I shouldn't go. I should go get the scan. It's a bit stabby.
Yeah.
And you just don't want to because you don't want to be told like, hey, you've got a torn fucking labrum
Yeah.
and you can't
Stop
train.
lifting. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's very
Yeah.
That was a
similar.
good one.
There we go.
11.
Still a bit.
11.
So this one's interesting. Be urgently patient.
I saw you write
I think I
this.
said it at Pick It Up.
Oh, yeah. Did you? I think, you either said it or I heard it from you.
Yeah.
Read it from you. Sorry.
So, was looking back at my career, and Jace, you can definitely say, and Jess, you will have seen, I'm always in a fucking hurry. There's never like, hey, I'll just do this thing for 12 months and then I'll do the next thing.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like, I am in a hurry. Let's go as
Yeah.
fast as we possibly can to the next thing. And then I actually looked back at my career and I was like, I did personal training for 2 years, or sold out for 2 years before we went from fitness to fit. You came on board and we started shit. We did that for at least 2 years, mentored 2 people for nothing, and then we're like, we're good at this, started a mentorship. Did educated through the certs and internally for 3 years, I think it was. Now let's go to the public.
Yeah.
Coached online indirectly for 5, but solidly for 2 years before I went online full time. Worked in online sales for 4 years before we took on a marketing contract with the gym.
Yeah.
So when I look at it, I'm like, fuck, we were so patient.
Yeah.
We really perfected the skill and then we did the next thing. And then we really perfected the skill and then we did the next thing. But like, really, it was like the duck feet underwater sort of thing. It's like the duck on the top's calm, but the feet are fucking
Yeah. Just,
Yeah.
yeah.
all the time. Because it was like, we were going flat out and then it's like opportunity, bang.
Yeah.
So global lens looking at it, it's like, oh, the boys have just chipped away, learnt their craft, done it, learnt their craft, done it. But internally, we were like headbutting brick walls to get to the next thing. It's wild.
Yeah. And then sitting back saying, I feel like I haven't gotten anywhere.
Yeah. How do you feel about
Yeah.
that
it's
explanation?
the sentiment of my existence.
Mm.
Yeah, I think, and then it's what people possess now is urgent impatience.
Yeah.
So it's the
Do it for 2 minutes.
I need to get off the gym floor as fast as possible. I need to get online as soon as I can. I need to start this business as soon as possible. Like, the trade-off to that is like you haven't been able to perfect whatever it is that needs to be done to sustain the first kind of leap.
Yeah.
You know, so you go from studying to training people. We'll just use that as an example. And it's like perfect your craft in the gym, working with people, solving problems, you know, working with a lot of people, and then going, oh, I really get good results with these particular types of people, and I get lots of fulfillment doing it.
Yeah.
And then working with those people and speaking and, you know, interacting and attracting them, and then being like, oh, cool. So there's way more than these in like within 30 minutes of my gym.
Yeah.
You know, I can attract them from all over the country, maybe the world. Then kind of taking that move. Because let's be real, like you and I see a lot of people who've moved off the gym floor that shouldn't have.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, fuck, man. Like, you call that a bent over row or you call that a this or whatever. You're just like, oh, it's like, you know, you've got 30 people like everywhere doing that stuff. And that's that impatience because they look at the dude who's got 20 years of experience under his belt and has the lifestyle and whatever. And they're just like, I need to move as quickly as possible to get that.
Yeah. Even sometimes, and I've probably been guilty of it. You said earlier about like, you forget what you know. Like being able to drop that sleep information. That was my clients are all struggling with sleep. I've fixed my own sleep and I've noticed all of these things happen. I did it for 3 months and then I went into my clients and I was like, hey guys, everyone try this. And then I got feedback about this that worked and this that didn't. And no one did this even though I told them to. And I built this thing, not intently sitting down and studying sleep for 3 hours a day. But I'd made the change myself, implemented it in my clients, got feedback, adjusted, and then got more feedback. So that took 6 months to learn what I wrote in 90 minutes the other day as a sleep protocol for people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we get in a position like, yeah, you can go online. It's easy.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you got a full book. Let's go. But sometimes it's actually like, oh, how much are we just assuming that everyone knows that we
Yeah. And
learnt?
we're looking back on, like, I look back on 15 years and go, it wasn't. When I look back and say 15 years, it sounds like a long time. But when I go back and think about when I started, it doesn't.
Yeah.
So I'm looking back going, oh,
Yeah.
yeah, you can do it. But it's like, hang on a minute.
Yeah.
I'm only saying that because there's 1% of people in the fitness industry that have been working for just as long, if not longer than me.
Yeah.
Everybody else is like, oh, I'm 2 years. I'm a dinosaur.
Veteran, yeah.
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 The next phase is whatever. So we look back and sometimes might get a bit carried away at saying that because we forget that we've been doing the thing for a very long time. And the next leap was just a natural thing for us based on our goals and whatnot.
Yeah.
But then, yeah, when you have people who idolize and look up to you, they want to move to your status as fast as they can.
Yeah.
And
we have the pathway to do that. It's just the one thing you can't sell is experience, right?
Yeah.
Can't give you
Agreed.
that.
First-hand experience.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you and I saw less of the end destination of other people we looked up to, so we were less focused on that impatience and more focused on our goals.
Yeah.
Because we weren't embedded into our phones every day when we were working.
Correct.
So when we were doing the grunt work, they do the whole build in your 20s, consolidate in your 30s, and scale in your 40s, or whatever they say. You and I, when we were in our 20s doing the grunt work, couldn't see the end result of the grunt work.
Yeah, we couldn't see what the 38-year-olds were doing.
Yeah, and especially because online personal training was still evolving. Like even personal training in general was evolving as we were doing it.
Yeah.
So I think that's also a symptom of this urgent impatience.
Yeah.
Is everybody's looking at the end outcome and going, I can't wait to get that as soon as possible.
Yeah.
And seeing the 1% of people that get it.
Yeah.
You see that exponential growth, like the EBT guy is a great example of that. So everybody wants to replicate that.
Yeah.
And be like, I'm not buying a G-Wagon and, having 500,000 followers on Instagram and whatever. It's like, that dude, he's done a tremendously good job at setting all of that stuff up. But for most people, the timeline's kind of like this.
Even going online for both of us was forced.
Yeah.
We couldn't do... It's ironic that it was a gym project. We couldn't execute the project that we wanted to execute if I was still in the gym 25 hours a week.
Yeah.
It wasn't going to work. So I left.
Yeah.
And then you basically got pushed out. And then by the time you were ready to go back...
That was the push that I
we
needed.
built a business that didn't allow you to anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm curious, your career pathway obviously a little bit different. Do you resonate with that statement still?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I feel like time matters less than what you do with it. As in, obviously, 15 years. I haven't been in the industry for 15 years.
I'm so old, so...
Significantly older.
It's fair when you are significantly older than someone.
And obviously, the industry is ever evolving, but people forget that they need to be good at doing the thing while still having future visions of where you want to go, because you need a direction, but you can't be there unless you do that first. And that's all lost on people. We've got people getting qualified in their Cert 3 and 4 already saying about an online business, and I'm so scared that that's where this whole industry is going.
I wonder if you could never do it and you'd never want to, but if they saw everything. They saw all of the stuff.
Yeah, come spend a week.
Yeah, it's just spend 6 months.
Yeah.
Everywhere. When we sit down to just have a lunch and debrief and sit there for 2 hours talking about things that we could potentially do.
Yeah.
Sit at a Monday meeting, go off and do whatever, manage all these people, do all this stuff, get frustrated, get upset, break down, feel the wave of emotion and get happy, celebrate, etc. Pull people up when they're not doing things. Feel overwhelmed, blah, blah, blah. And then
the showing up to work on a Monday after a weekend of being interstate where you already have to work on the next thing, but you physically can't open your eyes because you're so exhausted. And
the travel, this, that, the awkward conversations with each other that we've had to have. If they saw all of that and then they go, that is why this is it. But you're never going to be able to show that.
Yeah.
But the sentiment is very strong.
Yeah.
1 minute.
Yeah. Turn it so it doesn't beep.
This one I posted during the week, and it's 3 in 1.
We'll make it a quick one.
Do more than you say, create more than you consume, learn more than you teach.
Yes.
Schley.
Deeds over words. Steph and I, that's our thing.
Yeah.
You are what you do, not what you say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we always, we say it, I feel like we say this every week now. Now is the greatest time where you can say something and not be about it, just to look a certain way. And I think that everyone needs to follow people and, look up to people and be the person to be looked up to that shows you they're about what they say they are.
Yeah.
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 And even act the way that they say as well, because you can say something and not really act it. Like I said to the guys the other day, I can't remember what it was, and I was like, I just told myself don't talk shit.
Yeah.
Like to myself.
Yeah.
No one was going to see it. No one was going to be there. I think Loz has said the same thing. Like, you know, when she was doing something she didn't want to, she's like, don't be all talk.
Yeah.
And it's like that alone, like when you say that to yourself, you act in a certain way, you have a stature, or this and a that. And then if you can show people that you live the way you live and abide by what you say.
Yeah. That's great.
Yeah. Do that to influence others, and then other people look up to them. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the do more than you say. I think, because I've done it, the thing holding more people back than almost anything is the create more than you consume.
I struggle with that one.
Yeah.
I know so many people, like, I don't listen to the radio, or I don't put Spotify on. If I'm listening to something, it's a podcast. I'm like, but you're not actioning any of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't physically, like we were saying about Alex and Chris's new pod, like, I put it on for 20 minutes. I was like, I can't do any of this right now, so I'm not even watching it.
Yeah.
I think it's so easy to just absorb, well, not even absorb, just get hit with
Hear but not
information.
listen.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're just getting punched with information over and over and over and over.
What's on that topic? Chris is like, it's not doing the thing.
Correct. Yeah. Yeah, he's got that whole spiel. Hey,
Yeah.
like, preparing for the thing is not doing the thing.
Yeah.
Writing the
But,
thing is
yeah,
not doing
I don't
the
like
thing.
the-
Planning
yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think if you don't create enough stuff in your business now, and that's a problem, the magnitude of creating is where you should address it. So you should do more.
Yeah.
But then I think for people like you and I who don't have problems creating, I think we need to then utilize our bandwidth so what we create is the best.
Yeah.
So that's when creating more than you consume is not necessarily the message, but it's like, don't consume a bunch of random shit to stand there and say that you consume a bunch of random shit.
Yeah.
It's like, whatever you consume it because you want to, or it's going to take your mind off whatever you need to do. Because like, let's be real, like I watch a lot of things that take my mind off business.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's only so that when I sit down in a zone of genius, I can create the best thing.
Yeah. Yeah, we've pushed the needle further in the last 6 months than arguably any other 6-month period of the business. I've only read fiction.
Yeah.
During that time.
Yeah. I watch a lot of YouTube golf
Yeah.
to just take my mind
Same.
off.
Yeah, and I read probably
Yeah.
an hour a night. And I read now, I always tell the joke of like, I had this thought at 3 a.m.
Yeah.
It's like, I open the fiction book now.
Yeah.
It's like, stop it.
Yeah.
You're not going to solve the world right now. Stop it.
Yeah.
And then when it's time, take in the best possible information that's going to give you the biggest possible impact right now.
Yeah.
And go do that.
Yeah. Yeah. If you're really trying to make impact and you're not really there, then I love it's like, don't worry about what everyone else is doing.
Yeah.
Start making the things that are going to move your business and yourself in the direction that you want to see yourself in 3 to 5 years.
Yeah. And I even think for us, like you and I don't need another Alex, Cody, Chris, whoever podcast to be successful.
Yeah.
We need to continue to do the work that we're already doing and continue to improve the quality of it. And because you get to a certain level where you've heard enough content that you're like, so we just do what we're doing for longer.
Yeah, it's like, how many nutrition workshops do you need to go to until you work out that it's, quality of food, energy balance, and macronutrient distribution, really?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
it's the same thing. It's just like getting good at delivering that to the best of your ability is now the thing.
Yeah. And then the last one, the learn more than you teach. It was interesting. As I was saying it, I was like, oh, that's going to come up later. The sleep thing. I don't know how many, and I actually said this to Amy, like I'm going to write a sleep thing and I'm going to put a part in it for parents. But it's going to be so caveated that just like, this is what I'm currently trying to do with a newborn. I'm not telling you how to do it or anything like that, just because I still don't fucking know. And there's going to be regression and this and that.
It's not going to be perfect. That's right. Yeah.
But I'm going to try and do some of these things that I think every parent could try and do. Get your kid out in the sun first thing in the morning. Get them out in the sun last thing at night. Like we could probably all manage that. That's probably going to help.
Yeah.
Stop having caffeine after 3 p.m. We can probably all do that. Like limit your nutrition window. Like those type of things that you're comfortable in saying. But I felt like I had to get there, learn it, and then be like, well, these are the 5 things that I'm currently actioning.
Yeah.
Not 3 months ago I read this and this is what I'm gonna do. It's like these are the things that I'm really focusing on, and I hope they help you too.
Yeah.
It's authority.
Yeah, and
That's it. Like no one's gonna that's false, because I feel like you don't have to necessarily be a parent to be able to take advice on general health. Like,
Yeah.
right, but that's with this lens on. Whereas when people are in a really highly strung state, they're gonna be like, well, fuck you. Like, why would I listen to you? You have no idea what I'm going through.
Yeah.
But yeah, it just comes with the authority of the title of parent, and they're like, this guy might know what he's talking about.
Yeah. Yeah. And the example we used before was we did the sleep protocol. I remember you sort of like went down this mechanics of sleep rabbit hole for a bit, and we presented it in our
I know everything about
thing and all of that. Yeah.
Doesn't sound like Jason to go down a rabbit hole.
And then
on
I was
topic.
like, okay, so I'm going to go do this. I'm going to have a consistent sleep-wake cycle. I'm going to nap for 90 minutes. I'm going to do the astronaut nap. I'm going to fucking X, Y, Z and apply it all. And then I'll talk to my clients about it.
Yeah.
And I just wonder, again, because everyone's in such a hurry.
Yeah.
Are people still learning before they try to teach?
Prescript says, like, I know Shallow always says the line, it's fifth graders teaching fourth graders.
Yeah.
Like, they just learnt the thing themselves. Like, they've just done it, and they're like, you're ever so slightly behind me, but I'm going to teach it.
Yeah.
And, like, it's like that. They're still learning as they do it. But,
Yeah. Which is fine because we do that.
But
Yeah,
I think if you're open about it, like we talk about it in terms of marketing, like we're going to try this. If you want to do it, and this is why.
But you're not posing as something
The
that
expert.
you're not.
Yeah.
Like there are people that watch a 15-second reel, like we're talking about on TikTok as well. Like people will watch 15 to 30 seconds on a topic and recreate that.
Yeah.
It's like, no, you just listened to that. You don't actually know
I
that.
understand it. Yeah.
You heard it.
Yeah.
You don't know it.
It used to be I read a book.
Yeah, no.
Now it's I watched a clip.
Now it's short form content is the basis of my knowledge.
Yeah. So it's almost it's hard because the learn more than you teach, layered with create more than you consume. It's hard to be like, well, you want me to learn, but you don't want me to consume. It's
You
like,
also learn a lot when you teach. So
Yeah.
agreed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you have to have the experience. Like when we wrote Standout, for example, it's like we collated 10 years of experience and then had to write it down.
Yeah. Yeah. And we had a beta test which we weren't happy with before it.
Yeah.
So
And
we would continually to evolve that experience into something that we knew would work.
Yeah.
Because you're speaking so broadly on abundance of topics, it's really hard. Because you're like, well, in this instance, you have to learn more. And in this, if we were talking about like just PT and just training people, it's a lot more clear.
Yeah.
Like the blanket statements.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we're so multifaceted.
That's it.
So we don't go crazy.
Or because you are crazy.
No, I know. That is the thing.
Yeah. 100%.
If you are only... So
Good.
not only... If you're very good at a certain
deep.
areas, you go crazy because all of those things that are just normal aren't exciting enough.
Absolutely.
So if you spread your skills, it avoids you crazy.
Yeah.
There's probably degrees of crazy, and let's be real, we're probably at the bottom of crazy.
Yeah.
But we're like not, full crazy.
Yeah. We haven't invented
Not
anything.
category 3s yet.
Yeah. We haven't invented anything out of fucking nowhere
Yeah.
yet.
Category 1s. But still take us home to your parents.
That's a whole other podcast, which we'll go over
That's
at
a
another
perfect
time.
finish.
Amazing.
Well,
Sweet.
It's fun.
Thanks for having me back.
That's all right.
Welcome
Thanks
back,
for
I
hosting.
was
homeboy.
expecting that I was going to be locked out.
Welcome back, Buff Daddy.
That's it.
Yeah, Jace messaged me yesterday. Like, do you have a plan for the podcast? Like, are you back, or
Yeah.
what level of back are you?
Do I have to prepare for this? As soon as he
then-
said I have things, I'm like,
And then
anxiety
Jason
dropped.
messaged me saying, hey, don't stress about anything. Ben's
Yeah, because I did have a plan.
We have a plan.
We had a backup plan if we needed.
Oh, for learn.
Yeah, we had a
Yeah,
backup
Don't
plan.
worry, we've got this.
Yeah, see?
Yeah.
Don't worry.
You're slowly phasing out. Don't worry.
That's fun. I don't
Yeah,
mind.
You were next on your back as soon as you left, apparently. Not for me. I was the only one who wanted you to stay. Amazing.
So from next week, so we got a huge response to our scholarship competition, which is a little bit of a sneaky. And if you do want to use this strategy, go for it. But we got 42
comments.
entries to our competition, which was you guys telling us exactly what the hardest thing in your business is, which means we have a year's worth of podcast topics. We're
Yeah.
going to speak directly about all of the questions that you guys put in there. We might double up some of them depending on how long they take to answer, but that is our...
Good to see we think the same way.
Yeah.
That was the plan.
That was our plan.
Oh, yeah.
That was
we
the backup
put the plan
yeah,
together.
yeah. Yeah, that's why we did it.
Yeah.
Yeah, from
Yeah.
the start.
Help Jason out with his content.
So yeah, that's the plan moving forward with the episodes. Obviously, there'll be a healthy amount of banter. I'll put Jordans on next week and not wear a dad outfit. But
Yeah, we'll make sure we bring the drip
Yeah.
across the board.
yeah, I haven't worn my pink STC.
We should open
Jim-
with fit checks more frequently.
Yeah, I was actually bought some new hats yesterday, and I was
Yeah.
like a little bit sad because I committed to the dad thing.
Yeah, you couldn't wear your hat.
And I was like, but I want to flex my new hat. It's really cool. But anyway,
Next
I'll wear it next week.
Programming workshop. Do we drop that?
Yeah,
yeah.
we'll do that now as well.
Yeah.
Jess, programming workshop. So I don't know.
Yeah, I am here. Okay, so the programming workshop is coming to the Gold Coast on the 2nd and the 3rd of March, which are a Saturday and a Sunday. It'll be running from 9 till 4 p.m. at Zero Weakness on the Gold Coast. That's 100% locked in now. We'll be bringing 2 full days of content. The first one will be strength and fundamentals, and the second one will be hypertrophy. That is us. That is the boys flexing in the back. I'm just going to do that so Tam gets a shot. And that's it.
Link in bio for tickets.
Link in bio for
Get in there.
tickets.
And we'll see you there.
Standout PT open as well. If you do want to jump on board, this is the right time of year.
Yeah, absolutely.
I know your January sucked. It sucked for everybody. Fine.
Yeah.
It's coming.
We will rebuild.
Yeah. All right, guys.
Bye.
See ya.